Welcome to the Brox and Max channel. It's yours truly again. Pretty exhausting day, long hours this week. But as you can see in the background, got some vintage Caterpillar interior, all original, and it really hasn't been messed with or destroyed or burned up or whatever. So I guess this video is, let's walk around this vintage machine that I was using all this week, still making money, and proud dad moment. If there's any wind in this video, I apologize up front. If you hear any chiming in the background, it's these vintage hubcaps that just bang away in the wind on this pole. So let's get this video started. This is a 1979, oh yeah, I said it, 1979 Cat 225. Now, Caterpillar came out with their hydraulic excavator line, and I believe the first one that came out was a 225. This is not the first series 225. I think they were coming out in, I don't know, mid-70s. Wouldn't be late 70s, but I've seen the earlier vintage. It's got a different cab, a little bit different stuff. They were still trying to figure it out. But anyway, this is 1979. I know maybe some of you viewers have seen the other 225 in the other videos. This one is actually the smaller one. Trying to get it all on the screen here. They call this a Belgian undercarriage because I believe this machine was made in Belgium. The undercarriage here is a lot shorter than your standard, I don't know, long undercarriage or long track or whatever. It scoots around really good in the streets, or if you're in a tight spot, it doesn't really have any problem maneuvering around. And then the boom is also short. That's short, and then the dipper stick is a little bit shorter. So everything is like short on this. Not 215 short, but in 225 era, this is probably the smallest one that you can get. It's still a 50,000 pound machine, but it's smaller. Still shares the same bucket cylinder, dipper cylinder, boom cylinders as the Bs, BLCs, DLCs, all of the ones that went up until the early 90s, but it's smaller, just by a little bit. And the nice part about a short boom, short stick, more like the short boom, is if, again, you're working in the street and you're around low wires and stuff, it's just a lot easier to work around in a really tight spot. So anyway, I just told you I got off a job with it. I was doing some kind of grading, picking up some rubble and whatever the customer asked me to do. And this is the biggest pain in the ass going with a mechanical thumb. Mechanical thumbs actually are not my friend. They really, really suck. They're a pain to work with unless you plan your attack and you do all of your thumb work while the thumb is down, because it's always in the way when you're not using it. So you gotta get out of the machine, unbolt these two pins here, take that arm off, and essentially fold this back up and rebolt it back together, only to remember that you forgot one thing and you got to put it back down. So it's not a fun thing to use, but it's one less cylinder to worry about. If you're doing a rock job, you don't have to worry about pinching two cylinders together and hoping that they have enough hydraulic resistance or hydraulic pressure to hold the stone, especially if you're traveling, trying to do a rock job or whatever you're doing. So it's got its pluses and minuses. This machine is not plumbed for a hydraulic thumb. It never has been. So the only thing that we could do is a mechanical thumb. Now they have come a long way. This is a Geeth brand, as you can see. It's branded right there. But they've come a long way with a mechanical thumb. The other one actually has a much easier one to deal with, and that one's like night and day compared to this. But this job I was on, the thumb was down the whole time because I needed it. And oddly enough, this bucket, I just bought this on Facebook Marketplace. My dad and I were once upon a time in New Jersey looking at some buckets for 225s, probably 15 years ago, and a guy had a brand new 24-inch Geeth bucket for a 225. And my dad goes, we need to buy that. I go, we're never going to use it. We don't have that kind of work for these machines. I mean, we have a 42, a 48, we have a 30, but we don't have a 24. And oddly enough, I needed a 24-inch bucket to do a water line job in a shale bed or an area that had a lot of shale. So I ended up finding this one, luckily, on Facebook Marketplace. And it's used, but it's not all beat up. Somebody obviously spent some time welding on it and resurfacing it and doing all sorts of stuff. It didn't come with teeth. I put those teeth on there. And it's actually a pretty nice bucket. It's a genuine Caterpillar bucket. I can just tell by it. First of all, the big hole. I don't understand why Cat did that on their buckets, especially for this era. If anybody can give me some insight on that, please comment. I'd be really curious to know as to why they did that. But anyway, the odds of me ever using that bucket again, well, I just used it this week. It's actually pretty handy if you're using the thumb, especially picking up trees or rubble or whatever, because it pinches together perfect with the thumb. So maybe I'll leave it on there for a while and hope for another job again. I don't know. But this is just a proud dad moment. I wanted to make this video because this machine still earns its keep. And it did not let me down all week long. Didn't blow a hose. It didn't, not that I would have fuel filter issues, but it didn't break down. Literally just fire it up. Well, you got to glow plug it. Fire it up and just get going. Go to work. It's got about, I would say about 10,000 hours. The gauge quit working a long time ago, and it's got like 2,500 hours on the gauge currently. But once upon a time, my dad put a new undercarriage in it, rebuilt the motor. Actually, last year, we rebuilt both boom cylinders here. A couple years ago, we rebuilt the bucket cylinder, and the dipper cylinder was done maybe 10 years ago, and the outer seal is still in good shape. So this thing is like ready to go. There's no leaks. It literally does not leak. Not one bit. Unless you overfill it with fuel or something. So the big power plant that's in here, it's big. It's so big. Look how big this machine is. It has all it can do to house this engine. I wonder what kind of engine is in it.
See, maybe we can do something while we're out there. Stay tuned.
Now, naturally, it's going to be a Cat engine. Got to go through my keys here. So this is actually a Caterpillar key for this early of a machine. It's not the Cat key, because the Cat key is, well, right here. But to open up the compartments and the door on these early 200 series, you have to use the special key. So what's in here for a power plant is a 3304. Some of these had the 3208s, the little V8 powered ones. The only problem with this, you can rebuild these. It's a very smooth running engine, but it uses a lot of fuel. Like, it loves fuel. I can't tell you how much fuel loving this machine does. Like, after 8 hours, you better start looking for fuel, because you're going to be out in another half an hour. It's got the small counterweight on it. Well, I say small. The bigger 225s have a little bit of a wing, like more of a catwalk protector. The other machines got that. It's just a smaller version. Like, it works. Works perfectly fine. Let's check out the inside a little bit. This has not been touched at all. This is the original interior, original headliner. Well, actually, I lied. This is actually, the floor mat is a rubber pickup bed liner, or pickup box mat that I cut specifically for this. And because the other one was just, I don't know, the cat floor mats kind of suck, especially if you give it a long period of time. But yeah, the hours show 27.97, so there's probably add another 7,500 or 8,500 to that. So it's got about 10,000, 11,000 hours on it. But everything works on it. All the alarms. I got the master switch on right now, so the red light indicates that there's no oil pressure, naturally, because it's not running. And then you have the single stick. I call it single stick. This is the forward pedal, this is backwards, and you just steer it with one single stick. And a lot of guys, when I pull up on a job with either this one or the other one, they're like, hey, where's the second stick? Because everybody's used to driving with two sticks now. It's got the original seat in it. It does not have the original armrests. Those armrests actually are coming from a Case backhoe that we retrofitted in there, because naturally the armrests are the first thing to get worn out. And it's had some work done. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like it's like the best cream puff machine that we own. It does require some work every once in a while. I think there's a little bit of a weld right here, just a crack every once in a while, and you just keep an eye on things. And I don't know, maybe the boom developed a crack once upon a time, but we didn't fish plate anything. It's just, if there's a hairline crack in any spot, we fix it. I think once upon a time, even on the track frame, I found some hairline spider crack action in a really awkward spot too. I had to take care of that. But we keep an eye on things. Actually, right here too. This once upon a time had a split about that far, so I V'd it out years ago. Both sides too. That was a fun job, but anyway, it's still holding and hasn't gotten worse. It's got all brand new hoses. Well, I say brand new hoses. Probably almost 10 years ago now. We pulled this thing in the garage and we did a complete hose replacement. Everything from the pilot lines going into the cab to the hydraulic pumps. We did everything. It was like, just decided that it was old enough. We're keeping it. Why not put a little bit of money in it? See, hasn't even had another paint job since, and it's all brand new hoses. And I will tell you, that bill was scary when it came in the mail. But the machine practically owes us nothing. It's been a really solid machine. These 200 series, you really couldn't wear them out unless you absolutely abuse them. So that's the whole story with this machine. Just figured I'd spend a little bit of time, talk about it. Nothing special about it, just, proud dad moment. I was pretty happy to get home today and fueled it up, greased it, just put it away for another job. This is manual fuel off. So you put it about halfway right there, then use the non-cat key. Oh yeah. Even got the badass sliding rear window. I don't even know if this thing works. I haven't even had this thing open in so long. Listen to the sound of a 3304. They made a lot of them this spec. I've seen quite a few of them still on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. But I'll show you how perfect the thumb and the bucket kind of join together, just ironically enough with my rock teeth or ice teeth or whatever you want to call them. Like, you could pick up a piece of paper just about, which worked out perfect for this job I was on. But anyway, thanks for watching. Go on to another video shortly. Keep watching. I'll keep filming.